Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to be teaching us how to draft this halter neck underbust flare gown. It has a back waistline as well. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. And for our new subscribers, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button as you watch this video. Thank you so much, guys. So I have placed the horizontal measurement, which is the shoulder line, the chest line, the bust point line, under bust line, the waistline and the hemline. So the distance between the waist and the hemline is 2.5 inches for the backs. So the actual measurement length I'm working with is 15 inches. You can do more depending on your preference. So now I've gone ahead to place the shoulder measurement just like this. Then I'm going to rule a straight line across, just as you can see. So I'm going to use 3 inches for the neck width, then 1 inches for the shoulder slope. So I'm going to roll a straight line across, just as you can see. So on the chest line I went up by 3.5 inches. I came in by half an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the line so that we can get our arm cycle. So this is what we have. I'm going to be placing the nipple to nipple measurements. What I have there is 3.75 on the bust point line. So what I'm going to put on the hemline is 3 inches, because the line is not straight. If you look at the video carefully, it is not straight. So then for the tightening, I'm just going to mark 0.5 at the center front and 0.75 at the side front. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the dart lines just like this. I'm going to connect it to the under bust line just like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to curve up the line to the bust points just like this. I'm going to curve it like this. You do it on both sides to the bust points measurement. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to be placing the bust measurement, just as you can see. I'm also going to be placing the waist measurement, and I'm going to replace what I took in. I'm going to replace it there. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the lines, just as you can see, like this. So the next thing is I'm going to be closing this dart so I can mark, so I can rule out the back waistline. So I'm just going to be using the curvy part of my ruler to connect it just like this. I've connected it. This is what we have. Now let's go to the princess dart contouring. So I got the midpoint of the arm cycle. I got the midpoint. So I'm just going to connect the line like this to the bust point line, just like you can see. So the next thing, I'm going to go up and down by 0.5 inches on both sides. I'm going to mark 0.5 inches. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect the lines, just as you can see. So I'm just going to carefully mark 0.5 inches again, because I think I didn't mark it correctly. So I'm just going to connect the lines on both sides to meet the bust point line, just as you can see. So remember that we took 1 inch out. So I'm going to replace that 1 inch to avoid shortage. So I'm going to be connecting it to the armhole just like this, just as you can see. At the center front of the under bust line, I'm going to go up by half an inch, then go in by 0.75, just as you can see. So the next thing is I'm going to be connecting the neck line. I'm going to be ruling in line from the neck to that point. I'm going to be ruling it just like so. This is going to be the opening of the front. So next I'm going to be connecting it to the under bust. That point that I marked in by 0.7, I'm going to connect it to the under bust just like this. So on the next thing by this side, I'm just going to go in by 1 inches. So this 1 inch, I'm also going to be connecting it to the under bust by this side. I'm going to be doing it like this. So you connect it just as you can see. Next thing is for me to determine how wide the shoulder should be. So I use 2.5 inches, just as you can see. I'm going to mark 2.5 inches. So at that 2.5 inches, I'm going to be connecting that 2.5 inches to that leg or the armhole. So I'm going to be connecting it. So I'm just going to use the free hand at first, but then again I'm just going to use a slight curve just like this. I'm just going to curve it just like this. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to connect it. So this is what we have. So I'm going to be joining a paper at the shoulder because it has a tie knot at the back. You're going to be tying it at the back. So this paper will determine how long you want it to be and how wide you want it to be as well. So I'm just going to be ruling a straight line for the length. So whatever length you want to use depends on your preference. So I'm just going to be ruling a straight line just like this. So I used 2.5 inches for the shoulder. So as the more wide it gets or the more longer it gets, you can make the width smaller. Do you understand? You can make the width smaller. So this is what we have. So now for the back pattern, I've gone ahead to rule out the shoulder line, chest line and the waistline. So I've also imputed the shoulder slope of 1 inch, then also the arm side that I went up by 3.5 inches, went in by half an inch, just like the way I did it. So I'm just going to be placing the bust measurement just like this, and I'm also going to be placing the waist measurement. So I'm just going to roll a straight line across, just as you can see. So at the center back on the chest line, I'm going to go up I came down by half an inch. So I'm just going to roll this line just like this. Just going to roll it like this. On the center back of the waistline, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches, and on the chest line, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches. I'm going to roll a straight line across. The place marked as X is going to be cut out. So this is what we have for the back part. Now we are going to carefully cut out our pattern. So I'm cutting out the front pattern. So you are going to make sure that you label your pattern as well, so that you don't mix them all up. So this is how you are going to cut this. You are going to be cutting it all together. It's not like you are going to be cutting one piece separate. So this is what we have. So now for the bust dart, I'm going to go ahead and impute the difference between the front and back waistline, which is 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and close it up and reconnect the lines just like this and reconnect it. So I'll use my paper tape to hold it down. So I'm just going to carefully cut this like this. I'm going to carefully cut it like this. So this is what we have for the front pattern. So next one I'm going to be cutting now is the back pattern. This is the back pattern. Please don't forget to cut your modesty panel for the back. So this is what we have for the front. So this is how the front looks like, and this is what the back looks like as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and close up this, the center front and side front just like this, because I'm going to be showing us how we can get our flare. Please, if this is something you like, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. Thank you. To get the waist that we're going to cut out for the flare, so I'm just going to be placing the back and front together. So because of the backs, the waist measurement is going to change. Do you understand? So I'm just going to take my tape rule. At first I said I should measure just the front, but I went ahead to measure from the center back like this. So what I had there was 13.5 inches. So that's 13.5 inches times 2. So that's going to give us 26. So is 27. So remember that we took 1.5 inches at the back waist, at the back. So we're going to be adding it. That's 1.5 times 2 is 3 inches. So 27 plus 3, that's 30. So for the zipper part, that's 1 inch on both sides. So that's 2 inches. So in total, what we will be cutting for the waistline is going to be 32 inches. So now we're going to go ahead and cut the flare. The actual waist measurement we are working with is 32 inches. We've added the 1.5 times 2 that we took out at the back, then plus the 2 inch for zip allowance. So we've added it together, we have 32. So now we're cutting 360-degree flare, a full circle flare. So the length we are working with is 34. Actual length of the dress is 50 and the waist measurement is 16. So 50 minus 16 will give you 34. The radius of the flare that we're working with is 6.28. So I'm going to be dividing 32 by 6.28 to get the radius that we're going to cut out for the waist. It gave me 5.09. So I approximated it to 5.1. So to know the fabric that you are going to be cutting on fold as well, you are going to add that your radius of 5.1 plus the length of the fabric plus the length, which is 34. It gave me 39.1. So I added 2 inches for sewing at the waistline and hemming at the bottom. So it gave me 41.1. So that's the total fabric I'll be cutting out when on fold. I'll be cutting out 41.1 on fold. So I'm just going to take this piece of paper to draft out the flare. We are going to be cutting this unfold into 4. So I folded it into 2. Now I folded it into 4. So this part is going to be the center front, and this opening is just going to be by the side. So the next thing now, I said we are working with 5.1. So we are going to assume that 5.1 is 2.5 inches to get the radius of the waist. We are just assuming, but for you, you use the exact thing. But because of this pattern, this tutorial, we're just going to use 2.5. So for the length, we are saying 7, but the actual length is 34. You get the actual length is 34. So I'm just going to mark 7 all across. So then I'm just going to use this marker to connect the lines together. So I'm just going to use my scissors to cut out the flare like this. Next thing, I'm going to be opening it by the side. So yes, so the side that is being opened is going to be where the zip part would be. You must have taken 1 inch on both sides for the zip. So this is what we have for the flare. This is what we have. Then this is our pattern. This is what we have for the front. So this is what we have for the pattern as well. It's not that difficult, I promise you. Please, if this is something you like, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like.